friends. I have a workout class this morning, and then after that, so some of our plans have changed. Originally, I was going to have a date night tonight with Stone, but his dad had an extra ticket to the Lions game, so he's gonna go with his dad, and instead we were going to do like a date lunch at the Mexican restaurant across the street, and then we're gonna play It Takes Two, I think, for a little bit today. I might go to a coffee shop to get some work done, or I might stay here. I'm not sure. It looks so cold outside, and I kind of have a headache, but that's fine. So I'll kind of see where the day takes us. I guess I'll start with the workout class and see where it goes. Hi friends, so in this vlog I wanted to take a moment to talk about the books that I have read so far in 2025 and the next book that I'm planning on reading, and seeing if any of you have any suggestions for me. But I started the year off on an extremely sad note, The Nightingale. So I haven't talked about books that much on this channel, but anyone who knows me knows that I actually love like fantasy books, and I decided to switch it up to start 2025 on a more serious note. Someone did tell me that they absolutely love this book, and it was heartbreaking, and I love breaking my own heart. So I read this. I sobbed like a baby at the end. I would highly recommend this book. It is heartbreaking, so prepare yourself for that if you do want to read this. However, I think it's very important that we read books like this because at the end, this is not a true story, this is historical fiction, but at the end of this book, it says that she had interviewed many women from World War II and gotten their experience, and so this is kind of like an accumulation of some of the stories that she had heard, and that breaks my heart. And I think the moral of the story in this book is that women are not recognized for their contributions to the war, and there were a lot of really amazing quotes in here. Actually, I got a reading journal for Christmas, and I wrote down some of the quotes that I actually really liked. Let's see if I can find it. If I have learned anything in this long life of mine, it is this: in love we find out who we want to be, in war we find out who we are. This one I really liked. There were no parades for us when it was over, no medals or mentions in history books. By us, she means women. I'm going to try to keep track of my books on this. I kind of want to get away from Goodreads and sit with the books that I read for a while and really think about how I felt about them. I feel like I am consuming books at such a fast rate that I'm not taking the second to really appreciate the work that I just read. So I think this lets me slow down a little bit, and I really appreciate that. I also love the little guy on the front. Next up, I read Remarkably Bright Creatures. I love how I said that I read fantasy and I have not showed you a single fantasy book, but they're all up there. Remarkably Bright Creatures, I heard a lot of good things about it. I read it. It was, you know, if you read an extremely hard fantasy book that's like if you're reading Kingdom of Ash and you need to take a breather, this is the book. I think it's cute, but I think like I wasn't ever like itching to pick the book up, you know? I thought I was like, oh, I guess I can read that and it would be nice to like take my mind off of life, and then I'd read it. But it wasn't like I'm so obsessed with this book that I need to continuously read it until it's finished. So it took me like a week, and usually I can devour a book in like a couple of days. So it was good though. I would definitely recommend reading it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. What I'm reading currently is Somewhere Beyond the Sea. This is the second book. I don't remember what the first one's name. Yes, The House in the Cerulean Sea. This book is also, this is a fantasy book, but it's very cozy. It's like a cozy fantasy. They talk about like the sea and the warm weather and the sand, so looking outside right now, I definitely miss being outside and not freezing, but it's very cute. I really like it. Now for the next book I want to read. So I've been reading a lot of like cozy, realistic. I need to be done with that for a little bit. I need to be so lost in a heart-wrenching political story. Okay, I need to feel like my heart has been ripped out of my chest and thrown onto the ground and be so invested in these fantasy characters' lives like I was with Throne of Glass. So I think I'm going to start on this bad boy. We have, as I'm sure you all know, Onyx Storm's coming out January 21st, and I'm really excited. I'm not going to do a reread. I'm going to raw dog the entire thing. So I think I remember. I remember how the second one ends, because how could you forget? It was jaw-dropping. But I'm really excited for all the books that I'm going to read this year. I think my goal that I put on Goodreads was 52, and I did not reach that last year. I think I got to like 43 or something. But I am really excited. It snowed so much last night. Oliver had so much fun jumping around in the snow this morning, but it took forever to get off of my car. So now I need to go mail out a Depop order. I started selling some of my vintage sweaters on Depop, and then after that I'm going to drive 30 minutes or so to go see my friend Jillian. So it should be fun.
On like your elbow and you're trying to make a butt crack.
Wow.
But then it's just my arm.
Hey guys, it is Sunday, January 12th. I've had a relaxing but productive Sunday morning so far. I took Ollie out this morning, ate breakfast, got coffee, cleaned the house a little bit, put away my laundry, and then I had to really debate on whether I was going to go to the gym or go to a coffee shop to work on my book. And yes, some of you might be saying, why not do both? That's a great idea. I do not have the mental or physical energy levels to be able to do both. It was either I work out my brain or I work out my body. I picked brain. Anyways, I went to the coffee shop. It was absolutely packed. I went to a coffee shop yesterday too, and it was also absolutely packed. They are not as relaxing, coffee shops, as they used to be, at least from what I remember when I was in college. But it's still a good, like, high energy level productivity thing that's happening there. So I went and I decided instead of just raw dogging and writing this book, which I had done in the past, it always leaves me with writer's block. And I know I've done the research, I've written the plot. It's not organized enough in my head to write a full-on book. So I tried something new today, and I think it's actually really working. Each chapter, I wrote down what I wanted the general plot of that chapter to be and how it plays into the next chapter. And I think I got like 6 chapters done. I tried to keep it to a paragraph, but I very much did not. I wrote a decent amount, and it's not like flowery, descriptive, like beautiful writing yet. It's just like an outline of where I want this to go, so that the next time I sit down and after I finish doing all of these chapter plots, I can really spend time and know where it's going and be able to really focus on writing beautiful words and like going with the story and navigating the storyline and the plot line and making sure it's advancing. But I can't do that if I'm just guessing where it's going to go next. Like, I have a general idea, but without it written down, my brain just goes blank. So did that today, and now I think for the rest of the day I'm just going to read a book, relax, eat food because I'm absolutely starving. Maybe I'll edit if I feel so inclined. I don't remember if I said this yet, but definitely maybe take a nap, just a 30-minute one because I'm so tired. But we'll see, and it's gonna be a nice, relaxing, cozy Sunday now that I got the productive stuff out of the way, and I'm super excited about it. I will see you guys in a little bit. It's flippin' freezing.